people will download your app initially because they want to engage with you or they want to get some sort of benefit, but then they stay because you continue to add value. And so we've been really focusing hard on, this is not a tool that is just going to sit like your website. This is a tool that you can use to provide value to your clients and also at the end of the day, monetize your business.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews.
Hello. Welcome back to the My Future Business Show. It's Rick Nusky. I'm your host. Just a second of pause to say thank you so very much to you, the listener, and to all of my guests for supporting the show. It's just been such a wonderful experience. The feedback is great. Now, what's more important is on today's show, we're going to be talking to Mr. Matthew McGregor. Welcome to the show, Matthew.
Thank you so much, Rick. It's fantastic to be here.
Yes, thank you for joining me. It is actually my privilege. Now, Matthew, you're involved in mobile app development, but before we jump into that as the core of the call, what we like to do is spend a couple of moments of time to learn a little bit more about you and things you like to do in your pastime. Would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself with the audience?
Yeah, of course. So you can kind of think of me as almost this serial entrepreneur in a sense where a lot of people really, end up going to work at some kind of position where they like it, but it's, not the greatest thing in the world. But I am like, if you will generally find me in my general pastime, just working away because I really love it that much. But outside of, work, my favorite activities are skiing in the winter and golfing in the summer. And as well, I got out boating, water skiing and tubing and that sort of thing just a couple of weeks ago. And as I live here in Vancouver, Canada, it's really one of the greatest places to be able to have, the water in the summer and the skiing in the winter.
Yes.
It's really fun.
Absolutely beautiful environment. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, interestingly, I noticed through your bio and looking over your website is that you came up with the idea for your business called 22 Apps on a Ski Trip. I was wondering if we could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Yes. I was with friend McKelly and we were flying down the hill. We were having a bit of a race. We were almost going to wipe out, but it was okay. Anyway, so we're coming back up the chairlift and it was just kind of casual conversation. It's like, and he's like, he's into business too and this sort of thing. It was just kind of casual conversation. Like there's not any good platform for being able to create a mobile app in a cost-effective way, where we knew that there were website generators or website creators out there, and there's been like all sorts of funnel builders and campaign builders where the premise is, oh, you can create it yourself. It's a visual drag and drop thing. You don't need to hire a development team and spend $50,000 building out this stuff because you can do it in a matter of minutes. But there was really nothing quite like that for mobile apps. And it's like, well, why is that? And after the ski trip was done, we looked into it and it's like, whoa, there really isn't anything like this. And so we sat on the idea for about 4 months, and then we decided to move forward with it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. One of the big things about the My Future Business Show, Matthew, is that we like to share the personal sides to a journey. And I think this is very good for context because people are out there with ideas, but they're a little bit scared to pull the trigger. And I'm just wondering, how did you feel when you decided to jump in feet first?
Oh, I can tell you exactly. I do remember what actually happened that made me make the decision was for the last couple of months, it was not only that idea, but I actually had other ideas floating around in my head. And what it came down to is I was in a coffee shop with a different friend of mine, and we were kind of just discussing and throwing out, oh, what if we created this? What if we created that? And it got to a point in the conversation where we started talking about our timeline and how we wanted to contribute to this world and how we really only have a limited amount of time here. While it can often feel like a lot, it really is
really
limited.
isn't, is it?
And so that was really when I thought, let's just go for it, as scary as it is, as scary as the investment of, the hundreds of thousands of dollars is to build a software company. Why not give it a go, see what we can do? And, if it fails, whatever, it was fun. And money's just money at the end of the day. But if it succeeds, we can help a lot of people. We can change a lot of people's lives, and we can have an awesome, fantastic business that supports us at the end of the day as well.
I love the fact that you're going to leave nothing for regret at the end of the day. You're going to take those risks because, again, what have you got to lose? You've got to, this is not a stage rehearsal. This is life. This is real. This is happening now. So thank you very much for sharing that. Now, I know that we could take this call in a number of different places, and I'd love to talk about your brother, Mitchell.
My brother.
Yes,
sure.
Because he's part of your organization, and I always like to see when family are working together. I think that is an amazing thing. How have you two always been entrepreneurial at heart? I wonder what a day looks like when you hang out together.
That's a good question. So I've always been entrepreneurial, as our parents are entrepreneurial. So my dad is like a life and business coach, and then my mom teaches people how to get on public stages and speak really good on stage.
Yep.
And I kind of followed in the footsteps there, but my brother's not really been he's not really been one to take on the risk and the entrepreneur. He's never had the true sort of entrepreneurial spirit. But where he really, really excels is being that person that is the best supporter to whatever team he's working with. Previously, he was working at a restaurant before we started working together, and he got promoted really, really, really quick, as it was like he was always contributing, helping out, going above and beyond, and he's just that type of person that really cares a lot at the end of the day. And so his role really is customer success and helping out everybody. And as well, he's been building some of the apps behind the scenes and getting the whole show together. And he's an absolute superstar. On a personal note, what a day-to-day, you asked, what does day-to-day life look like? We play a lot of video games.
Fantastic.
I won't lie there. And we have a lot of fun.
What are your favorite games?
We play a lot of Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo Switch.
Excellent. Yeah. I love it. Absolutely love it. Because, you got to find a balance between living life and actually building business, because if you're all work and no play, that makes life pretty dull, doesn't it? But you talked about hundreds of thousands of dollars before to create a business of this structure and magnitude. How does one go about funding such a venture?
Good question. So I was very fortunate. So I'll speak on two sides. Yep. I was fortunate that I actually have a previous business or another business where I build funnels and webinars and campaigns and launches for people. I basically help people with their internet marketing to get that up and out. And because I did that work all myself, I kept all the money. And so I basically just used all the cash from that business to then fund this new adventure. So we've been good on cash since day one, and that's been no problem. Though if anybody else was doing it, where I'd go and suggest is that if it's your first time and you don't have some cash available, find somebody who has already really dove into whatever industry you're
Yeah.
looking to get into, where not only can they provide the cash, but they can also act as a mentor and a guide and a light through this path of building this first initial company that may require some capital.
Fantastic. I love how you're reinvesting and building on your previous successes. There's a takeaway, a bit of sage advice for everybody who's listening now. We could go a couple of different directions, but I've got two in mind. First of all, the difference between a website and a mobile app. Sometimes they get, thrown around as the same thing, but they're not. Could you explain the difference to us?
Yeah, absolutely. So where a website is good is for any kind of media kind of publications where somebody might go to your website to check you out to see what you're all about and that sort of thing. But it's unlikely that they're going to go there again and again and again and again, like every single day or every single week. Whereas with a mobile app, the purpose of a mobile app is to actually regularly engage people on a consistent basis where they're coming back into the app again, either every day or every week or multiple times a month, whatever it is, for a variety of different purposes. And part of the idea with mobile apps is you can also send push notifications as well. So the little dings or the
Yep.
little messages that come up on your phone that remind you to come back. And so whether you're creating a content app that really provides value to your clients, or whether my client that I was just working on his app literally half an hour before this call is all around music and helping people feel really calm and secure and at peace through his calming music. Another one of my clients is using it for his kind of like a restaurant business, but not exactly. But, there's all sorts of avenues that one could go when it comes to their users or their customers engaging in their world very much more regularly on a consistent basis right from the home screen of their device.
Yes, it's omnipresent, this technology, isn't it? It's almost scary if you don't know how to embrace it.
Yes.
I always think to myself, the likes of Facebook have nailed it in terms of drawing their user base back. I wonder, with that in mind, who inspires you and what ideas are you thinking about based on some of the biggest brands around today?
That's an interesting question. So personally, I'm really inspired by both Bill Gates and Elon Musk for different reasons.
Hmm.
Elon Musk, I see him as being this inventor, this person that paves the path for bigger, brighter, better things, and is constantly coming out with something new again and again and again. It's like, oh my gosh, now he's doing that type of thing. Whereas Bill Gates has this side to him of giving back to everyone, where he has the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the different charitable work that they do. At the end of the day, it's not about creating a ridiculous amount of wealth. It's about, let's create a lot of wealth so that we can solve all of these problems in the world that need addressing.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have the same sort of personality, the same sort of point of view in life that you want to give back ultimately?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's wonderful news. I think to myself, when I pick up my mobile app, there is a lot of rubbish out there. How do we know? There is so much rubbish, isn't there? Some of the apps I'm just getting adware. My kids are crazy at it. They download this rubbish. All of a sudden, they've got all this rubbish on their phone. How do people make a wise choice when it comes to apps?
That's a good question. So when it comes to downloading individual apps, where we're focusing on with at least our clients is people will download your app initially because they want to engage with, or they want to engage with you, or they want to get some sort of benefit,
Yeah.
whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
But then they stay because you continue to add value and add value. And like you said, there's a lot of people and a lot of apps out there that it's like, well, this is a waste of time type of
Mm,
thing. And so we've been really focusing hard on, this is not a tool that is just going to sit like your website. This is a tool that you can use to provide value to your clients and also at the end of the day, monetize your business.
fantastic. So is it like a 22 apps? Is it like a generic mobile app base, and then somebody comes to you and then you custom a solution? Let's say, for
Oh,
example,
yeah.
I'm a podcaster and I want a podcast app. Can you service me, for example?
Absolutely. So what 22 Apps is a app building platform where anyone can actually build their own mobile app. And so whether it's basically it's all drag and drop and it's all visual, just as I was mentioning before, like now websites are all visual drag and drop. We've basically created the first drag and drop build
Hmm.
for mobile apps. And so if you wanted a podcast app, as an example, one of my clients, Kieran, recently jumped on because she wanted a podcast app to host her show, as that way there can be, rather than often what we see with podcasting is one-way engagement
Yeah,
where they hear the message, but then there's
that's it.
no interaction.
Yeah.
There can be some of that interaction, or there can be a pop-up at the end of the episode saying, hey, here's go learn more, check this out, whatever it is.
That's excellent. I love this idea, that drag and drop builder for mobile apps. It used to be extremely expensive to get into this space.
Yes.
What have you done to address that question? Because I know that it's a barrier to entry for a lot of people.
Yeah. So just like you said, generally, if you try and get into the world of mobile apps, you'll end up needing coaches, hiring a team, and it'll end up being like minimum 20,000, more likely
Plus,
35, 60,000, something like that. Um, Basically, the idea is with our software, you can basically just get an unlimited license to use our software and then create your app, you know, in a matter of a couple of days, rather than sitting and waiting for a coding team to burn all your money and
siphon it
and
off.
eventually you get an app.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's early on. It was a field that was, a little bit dark and mysterious to a lot of people, and they steered away from
Yeah.
it. Now, um, can people, once they've created their ideal app, go in and
Yeah.
completely change it to something new?
Yeah. They can. And part of the technology we've developed, that's I think cool, but maybe because I'm a bit nerdy, is
You too.
uh, one of the problems was that we noticed was that with mobile apps, you see that people often have to update their mobile apps, or like a lot of apps are never actually updated because people choose not to update their apps.
Yeah.
So with our platform, you can actually push updates to your app without going through the app store, so that you can make a change instantly. And rather than Apple and Android taking, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to
Yes.
publish your update because they have to review it,
Hmm.
it can instantly publish right to the app the moment you click the
So
save
there's
button.
there's no going to the Google Store or Apple Play and downloading this app from there. It comes directly through your membership site.
You download it first. Like
Right.
you go to Google or Apple and then you download it, but then the users don't have to continually update it every single time you want to make a change. Like if you want to make any change, or if you have a new a new video, a new podcast episode, a new challenge, whatever it is, you can just upload that and it'll instantly be available.
I can see the scope is unlimited for the application here, and primarily this is a business related site. What are some of the applications that are being used so that my audience can get a bit of a feel for if it's a good fit for their business?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we've been, at least for in our marketing, focusing heavily on entrepreneurs, small business owners, coaches, consultants, health and wellness, people in doing MLM stuff, these sorts
Yep.
infopreneurs
Yeah. Yeah.
as the main buyers so far have been people looking for a content app where rather than having their content be on Facebook or Instagram where like 1% of people are ever seeing their stuff, or as another example with email marketing, a lot of the emails are going to spam, no one's opening it. This is a place for these types of entrepreneurs to get content, videos, audios, resources, challenges, funnels into their clients' hands in a really easy and effective way where it's just right there on the home screen of their device. A couple other examples, though, as we expand out, we're also focusing on golf courses and schools and people who do either personal training or fitness or have a studio, and there's just all really sorts of applications. Like I could keep
Yes.
going, but it's really more so if they're at all interested, just check it out.
Check it out.
Right.
That's obviously the
Yeah.
quickest and simplest way to do that. Now, when we talk about technology, the My Future Business audience primarily quite tech savvy, Matthew. And I wonder, what does the onboarding process look behind the scenes when somebody gets
Of
there?
course. Yes. So right now we are full, as we're just launching this basically for the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
We're right there behind the scenes. And right now we're actually helping people along with building their app basically for them
Yeah.
using the platform. And then as we transition into more so as we go along further, we're going to be doing weekly trainings, weekly webinars, different things to make sure people are both accountable and find it easy to build what they want.
Do you think that that there'll always be a place for websites and alongside of mobile apps, or do you think that given the nature of mobile technology and handheld devices, um, will there be a shift away from websites?
Question, yeah. So I wouldn't discount the website completely, but it has a little bit of in my eyes, long term, I see it having a bit of a different place where the mobile app very well is where your customers are going to go to engage with you and your business on a consistent basis, whereas your website is much more for media, for press,
Got it.
for
Yeah.
joint venture partners, for that sort of thing, who just want a good look at you and your results and your expertise and get a feel for you there.
Thank you
That's where I
again.
see it.
I,
Yeah.
I, I love this conversation. I'm right into tech, and it's my space now. I wonder with the mobile apps that you can create with your drag and drop builder, Matthew. What about you've talked about media such as video and all your standard stuff. You've talked about audio with podcasts.
Yeah.
What about email marketing and correspondence? How does the communication system work in there?
Yeah. Good question. So I'm excited. I'm excited you asked that because that's actually what we're adding into phase two.
Excellent.
So that's on our horizon, and it's going to be able to actually not only send emails like you can send emails right from the platform, but you can connect it with all the most popular integrations. So the first couple we're going to be adding in is like ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, Kartra, ConvertKit, MailChimp, the
All the
most
big
popular
players.
ones, and then obviously more over time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a supporter of SMTP email direct
Oh,
through
even better.
Amazon
We'll do
SES.
that too.
Yeah, I think there's some validity. There's just such a massive scope here. It's very exciting to have the opportunity to talk with you about this. Now, in terms of your development, I guess speed of development, what's coming up next? Is there anything major that you can share with us apart from the email marketing?
Yeah, I can't. There is. um, so a couple of exciting things with the ongoing development is uh, first off, I'll share that um, we really only started this about six months ago,
Hmm.
and getting the ball rolling on this, and in that short period of time, we've got a lot of offers on the company, but we've mainly declined the majority of them, except for we got an offer from a gentleman named Mike Filsaime. And Mike
Who doesn't
Filsaime,
know Mike Filsaime? Goodness
okay, there you
me.
go. I'll share for the audience. If you don't know, he's built Groove Pages, Webinar Jam, EverWebinar. He was super involved in Kartra,
Yep.
and he actually chose to buy 15% of our company at over a $3 million evaluation, which was like super cool, super hype, to get that market validation from someone who
Yes.
knows what's up. And so we're using a good portion of that money, as well as the money we've obviously saved, to build. And I could open up the list, but I'll rattle off the most exciting things. The first biggest thing is an automations manager that I believe to be more equal in power to like Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign or something like that, or some parts I think are even better.
Yep.
There's also the ability to manage contacts at a really deeper level and view statistics. And we're adding in this piece of code that can go on your website, so that when people visit your website, it'll pop up with a banner that says, hey, go ahead and download my app, so that our users can get just even that much more traffic. We're adding in templates, all sorts of more templates, all sorts of different things for users to just make it super easy, yet even more powerful at the end of the day.
I can see how anyone could benefit from this wonderful platform. To have the caliber of Mike Filsaime pulling out his wallet and saying, "Here's my credit card. I want to smash some money down with you," tells me a lot about you. Tells me a lot about your entrepreneurial spirit. The fact that we've talked about mindset, we've talked about having a balance between life and business, which I think is absolutely critical, is wonderful. Everything that you are doing is fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Now, when people want to find you and start learning more about the app, and even go as far as getting themselves an app, can we talk about where to go
Yeah.
and what the process is?
Yeah, of course. So the best place to go is 22apps.com. That's 22apps.com, 22apps, or just Google it.
Yep.
And there'll be a nice bright blue button on the very, very front of the homepage to learn more, get started, get in touch with me if you want to talk about what does your app look like for you. Myself and my team we believe in 150% customer support.
Yep.
So we believe in going above and beyond there. So just reach out, or just get an account, play around with it, have fun.
There you go. Well, look, everybody's on the call today. I absolutely and utterly insist that you go and visit 22apps.com and you meet Matthew and his wonderful team. Check out his website. Caliber of the people like Mike Filsaime tells you a lot about this venture and where it's going to go. If you want to get in early, because I'm sure this one's going to explode. And with all that being said, Matthew, it's just been such a great treat spending some time with you on the My Future Business Show today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.